Hey, what's going on? Shout out to my people. Where y'all at, man? Tap on in with your boy. It is King Supreme back in the building. So, man, I've been meaning to do this story, man. It's been all over social media. I heard a whole lot about it, man. And it involves Somalians and a Karen. Well, well, well. See, it don't matter what we got going on with Somalians. You know, when I see a white person using an N word to insult somebody black, I got to say something about that, right? I got to say something about it. So, and what's crazy is they raised over $100,000 for this woman. But then again, are we surprised? We shouldn't be. White people support this behavior. They're going to make tons of excuses for why she used the N word. Shiloh Hendricks called that special needs child the N word, and they raised tons of money for that woman. I mean, it was crazy. But like I said, man, what do we really expect, man? This is white people for you. Shout out to Cat 6 Cable Guy, man. I appreciate you for tapping in. Shout out to all my people for tapping in with us. You know? But like I said, man, I'm not surprised, man. This is how white people really feel. This is how they truly feel. So we should not, we're not surprised. Let me just put it like that. $1 million for the Shiloh Hendricks. Right. Now, you guys remember the Carmelo Anthony situation. We raised money for his defense in court. And they say, oh, they raised money for it. White people are whites can be very hypocritical, man. I'm gonna just be real with them. They could be very hypocritical. And they don't hold their people accountable for anything. And they're the main ones talking about accountability. It's rare that whites are even held accountable for anything. Look at all the crimes they gotten away with. Look at all the crimes they committed. Look at all the crimes they've committed against us over the last 2 centuries in this country. It's rare that they were ever held accountable for anything. So when I hear white folks talking about accountability, I'm like, come on, man, you can't be serious. Nobody has gotten away with more violent crimes than white people, white men in particular. And you got the nerve to talk about accountability. Man, that's crazy. Shout out to the truth, man. Shout out to my people for being up in there. Cat 6 just dropped the cash app in the chat. Realer than rap. Let's get to the content. Where you at? Bless the like button. It ain't nothing. We're diving right into the conversation. You know. Yeah, man. It's going to be a good one here. It's going to be a good one. Sit back and enjoy the show. The True 726. Hey, man, we got to do it, man. I had to fire up this stream. Let me see where my people at, man. As soon as we get to the 5-minute mark, man, we're gonna dive right into the conversation. You already know what it is. Right. Of course, the majority of white people have hatred for blacks. Anything over 50% is the majority. So we already know the majority of them feel. Look at how fast they raise money for this woman. They raised over $100,000 for this woman in a couple of days. That's what's crazy. But then again, we're not surprised. They've been doing this for years. It's the same old story, just another day. Different day, same story. A different day, but yet again, the same old story. So nah, man, we're not surprised. He said we still want the Somali. Shout out to Virgil Berry. I feel you, my brother. we ain't gonna let the Somalians off of the hook, but at the same time, we're not gonna celebrate when the white folks disrespect somebody black at the same time. So I get it. We'll settle our beef with the Somalians behind the scenes, but right now, and see, this is the thing. It don't matter if these were foundational Black Americans, Nigerians, or Somalians. This is how whites feel about all Black people. It don't matter if they were foundational Black American, Nigerian, or African. This is how white folks feel about Black folks in general. See, white folks see us all as the same. They don't separate. They say they're all N-words. They're all N-words. So ha ha ha. Now we understand the difference between us, but as far as white folks concerned, nah, man, they lump blacks all in the same category. They view us all as N-words because that's how they were raised. That's the reality, unfortunately. Man, you been working too. Hey, man, you got to do your thing, man. Hey, do your thing, man. You got bills to pay. The holiday season is here. If you got children, they're gonna want some toys. They're gonna want something for Christmas. So I get it. I get it, brother. Kids gonna want something for Christmas, man. You already know for sure. All right, let's get into the conversation.
Individual who decides to be against Black customers. Here it is.
That's I am racist.
So idiot for
and
real.
You are
an idiot. No,
I am racist, and I'll say that to the whole entire world. Don't be disrespectful.
You ruined your life, by the way.
Oh, you're talking about respect? You're talking about respect? You are fired from this place. You're not gonna be working here.
Suck it.
Suck what? Look how you fucking look like.
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you, you ugly bitch? Get the fuck out of my face.
Talking about ugliness?
Did I stutter?
You
Put it up full man. There are people all across the United States of America. They happen to be white. They eat Cinnabon every day, and it doesn't make them racist. This has nothing to do with the Cinnabon. This employee has now been fired from Cinnabon after a racist tirade on Black customers. She was very proud to proclaim to the world that she is, in fact, racist. According to Atlanta Black...
Hey, she said, I am a racist. But we already knew that. Right? But white people, listen, whites, they're going to make a million excuses for this woman who clearly said that she is a racist. There's no excuse that you can make. There is no excuse that you can make for this. And it's funny to hear white people talk about accountability. It's rare that they ever hold their people accountable, especially when they disrespect us.
2 days after President Donald Trump referred to Somali immigrants as garbage, a white Cinnabon employee in Wisconsin was captured on video calling a Somali man the N-word after mocking his wife for her hijab. Identified as Crystal Wise, Wilsey, 43-year-old woman, said, quote, I am racist and you are a N-word, end quote. Another quote.
Man, this Karen is very racist. And see, now that's going to look bad on Cinnabon. They're going to say, okay, you hire people like this. You had to know that this woman was racist because she was open with it. She didn't hide nothing. But what do we expect? Of course, white folks are going to hire their people. They're not going to, listen, they're not going to say, well, we're not going to hire this white person because they're racist. The majority of them are racist. So if we were judging it based on the fact that they're racist or not, the majority of white people wouldn't have a job. They would be out of jobs. You got to have hardcore evidence and proof to prove that these whites are racist, and they still might not want to get rid of them. Come on, man. They're not going to stop hiring white people even if they know they are racist. One thing they're going to do is they're going to defend and protect their people, and they're never going to hold them. They're going to defend and protect their people, and they're not going to hold them accountable, especially when they disrespect Black folks. I don't care if it's a foundational Black American, a Nigerian, or a Somalian. They're not going to hold whites accountable, especially when they disrespect us. Anyway, let's move on.
I am racist, and I'll say it to the world. Well, congratulations, you have. We're here to help you meet your goal. The employee and her racist rant occurred on a Thursday. December 4th, as a Somali man, a woman, excuse me, reported the incident. The employee was fired hours after this incident. The Somali woman sent the video to her cousin. Her cousin posted the video online. It immediately went viral.
New video. New video.
With viewers tagging Cinnabon. Quote, "We've seen the disturbing video from the Cinnabon bakery, and we do not condone this behavior. The former employee was immediately terminated by the franchise owner. Their actions do not reflect our values or the welcoming experience every guest deserves." So a mugshot posted on Recently Booked shows a mugshot of this individual,
So they took her to jail.
saying she was arrested in 2022
Oh, okay. This was for 2022. Okay.
in Ohio on 3 charges of child endangerment and operating a vehicle while impaired. But a search through the online court system of Erie County in Ohio does not show any records for her. However, just like Shiloh Hendricks, the woman who fundraised over $700,000 after she went viral for calling a black child the N-word, racist also rallied behind this Cinnabon employee.
Of course, racist white folks, they're gonna rally behind her. They're gonna rally behind this woman just like they did Shiloh Hendricks. It's in their nature. They've been doing it for centuries. So why would they stop now?
A Give Send Go fundraiser has surfaced online on behalf of the racist Cinnabon employee, claiming she was a victim of intimidation. Yeah. And that the Somalian couple intimidated her. The fundraiser was launched by a man named Tom Hennessy.
That's a bold-faced lie. Them Somalians didn't they wasn't being aggressive with this woman. She's gonna lie. It's gonna go back to the why didn't I say so? You know, like shout out to Tariq Nasheed, because that's exactly what it is. That's their mentality. On why didn't I say so? They was aggressive with me, so I called them the N-word. Yeah, right. We don't believe you. White people know it's a lie, but whites will defend. Listen, white people know that she's lying, but they're gonna defend the lie anyway because she's white. So if she's white, in their mind, she's right. So they're gonna they're gonna defend this lie at all costs. They were being aggressive towards me. They did this and they did that. So she's gonna make 1,000,001 excuses for her behavior. She's gonna tell a bold-faced lie. And whites, hey man, they're gonna defend this. They're gonna defend this lie till the wheels roll off. I felt threatened. They were being aggressive towards me. Shut up, Karen, you lying.
Whose relation to the Cinnabon employee is not mentioned, but he raised more than $100,000. The description reads, 2 Somali customers decide to make her shift hell with intimidation. Instead of banning the offenders and backing their employees, Cinnabon fires Crystal to keep the nons happy. We're letting...
They were being aggressive and they threatened me. No, Karen, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. You're telling a bull-faced lie, Karen.
This slide, we're not letting this slide funds to making sure Crystal lands on the feet. After this betrayal, a white person should lose their job. Or if...
See, white folks gonna stay on code. This is why black folks, we got to stop coming to the internet to disparage our people. We got to stop doing that. Right? Because whites, they're gonna defend their people regardless, even when they're 100% wrong. Whites gonna stay on code with one another. We got to stop coming to the internet to talk bad about our people. We got to stop doing that. Now, at some point, we got to hold each other accountable, but there's a way that we need to go about doing that. Right? I'm all for accountability, but we got to find a new way of holding our people accountable. We can't be so quick to blast our people publicly, because you see what's going on with the white community. They can call black children the N-word. They can call black folks in general the N-word, and white folks gonna raise $1 million for them and make 1,000,000 excuses for why they use the N-word. Because whites are gonna defend their people even when they're dead wrong.
Refusing to be harassed by Somalians. They're not even waiting for it to be history. to change the narrative. We literally have a video that was posted hours ago, and already the narrative has transformed into, no, the person who's racist is actually the victim here. And the individual.
Yeah, they're trying to make Karen the victim.
Individuals who are the victim, they are the perpetrator. Hell of a thing. Another fundraiser posted to, once again, GoFundMe on behalf of the Somali couple by Sabrina Osman, who says she's a cousin of the Somali woman, recording the video and was first to post on the TikTok channel. It has only raised $4,600 so far. Yeah. And this is how Osman described the incident on the GoFundMe. Quote, my cousin and her husband, Black Somali Muslim couple, were out shopping and decided to stop at Cinnabon for a quick treat. As soon as they walked in, they could tell the atmosphere was not welcoming at all because of this worker's facial expression and attitude. My cousin ordered the caramel pecan cinnamon roll, and when the lady was squeezing the caramel, she hardly put on any. Then my cousin asked if she can put some more because it's not enough. The caramel appeared to be running low, and my cousin asked, are you running low? Don't you have any more? The worker then said she would warm it up a little because she didn't want it to be hot and hurt herself. Then she, quote, you could see me squeezing it through the witchcraft bandana you're wearing on top of your head. Basically referring to my cousin's hijab. And that's when my cousin pulled out her phone and started recording.
Man, then she said, you can see I'm squeezing it through that witchcraft bandana you wearing on the top of your head. Oh, man, come on, man. We already know this Karen is lying. But whites, they're going to defend that lie regardless.
My cousin called me crying after this incident in, quote, that's a hell of a day at the Cinnabon. All right. So it seems as if the franchise owner decided to act swiftly, said the right thing and follow up. But you have to imagine if somebody is this comfortable saying such racist things on an average workday, it may not be the first time they have done it.
Right. Shout out to you, bro, because for her to be so comfortable saying that, this is common behavior. Right. She was very comfortable using those racial slurs at her job. Right. So what does that say about the company? They only fired this woman to save face. They know those white people who work there feel the same way. But since the video went public and it's all over social media, they had no choice but to fire her to save face. White people don't care about they don't care about their folks being racist towards us. The only time they're going to pretend like they care is when they're about to, like, if they don't want to be held accountable as a business, as an establishment. So, oh, well, we got to get rid of, we agree with her being racist, but to save face, we got to fire you. Even though we feel the same way.
May not be the first time this culture has been protected. May not be the first time that somebody.
All right, let's move to the next clip. Yeah, man, they feel the same way. They just like, man, we got to fire this woman to save face. That's all. That's it. That's all. Hit the like button, y'all.
The two fundraisers competing against each other. One is in support of the two Somali customers who recorded the video. The other is for the former Cinnabon worker.
You're not going to beat those white people with support. Black people barely. I mean, I'm not going to say this about all of us, but a lot of us don't like the support. We just don't like supporting people like that. So white folks are going to raise way more money because, right or wrong, white folks going to support their people. So you're talking about the GoFundMes are competing, the white woman going to get way more money.
The two fundraisers are competing against each other. One is in support of the two Somali customers who recorded the video. The other is for the former Cinnabon worker. So far, the GoFundMe for the Somali husband and wife has garnered more than $4,600 out of its $45,000 goal. The fundraiser identifies one of the customers as Faria Ahmed. According to the fundraiser's page, it says the money will be used for legal fees. It's unclear what legal action is potentially being taken, but calls it a fight against racism. The page also says the GoFundMe was started by a cousin of the couple. Meanwhile, the fundraiser for the former Cinnabon worker, who is white, has raised more than $117,000 out of its now $271,000 goal. In this fundraiser's description, the now former worker is simply identified as Crystal. It says funds will go toward helping Crystal land on her feet after being fired. It goes on to say, quote, "No white person should lose their job for refusing to be harassed by Somalians," unquote. Here's what we have learned about the incident. The heated exchange took place Friday at the Cinnabon stand in Ashwaubenon's Bay Park Square Mall. The video shows the stand's worker calling two Somali customers the N-word. She then called herself a racist. The GoFundMe says this ensued after the worker made comments about the Somali woman's hijab. The couple called the employee an idiot, followed by an expletive, and told the employee she was ruining her life and would be fired. The employee continued with more derogatory comments directed at the couple and gave them two middle fingers. Cinnabon issued a statement to Fox 11 about the incident over the weekend. It says the company is aware of the deeply troubling video involving a former employee at the independently owned and operated Cinnabon bakery in Ashwaubenon. The individual seen in the video was immediately terminated by the franchise owner. The company says their actions and statements are completely unacceptable and in no way reflect the values of Cinnabon, its franchises, or the welcoming environment it expects for every guest and team member. We asked the creator of the Somali couple's GoFundMe for an interview, but have not heard anything back. We're hoping to ask what specific legal action the money will be used for and what escalated the exchange. We're also hoping to hear from Crystal to explain her view of what happened and if she regrets using a
Now, she claimed that she was being harassed. We know she's lying. She's lying. Let's be real. She has no evidence to prove that she was being harassed. And if she was being harassed, there's a video in the store. Everything that took place is on camera, is on video. She can't prove that those people was harassing her, but they're going to lie in order to save face because that's what white folks do, because they're going to protect their own regardless, right or wrong. They're going to protect their own, man. It's just the reality of it.
Reporting in the studio, Tony Langfellow.
All right, let's go to the next clip. Yeah, man, that's like they're going to defend that. They're going to defend that. They're going to come up with every lie they can tell.
Racist? That's I am racist.
So idiot.
Oh, man. I want to see.
Are you recording? I'm gonna record you. Yes. Do you want me to throw water on you? I am racist. And you are an idiot. I am racist, and I'll say that to the whole entire world.
Let's see what Anton Daniels got to say. I want to see if he put on his tap shoes.
Whole entire world.
I never watched the video, man. It just popped up in my feed. Let's see what Daniels had to say about this, because usually he defends white people. So I wouldn't be surprised if Anton Daniels defends this white woman. I might change the title so Anton Daniels defends the white woman, but let's see if he defends her. My God.
Don't be disrespectful.
It makes you a better person.
Are you recording?
I'm gonna record you. Yes.
Do you want me to throw water on you? I am racist.
So idiot, for
And
real.
you are an
idiot. No,
I
I'm
am
not.
racist, and I'll say that to the whole entire world. Don't be disrespectful.
You ruined your life, by the way.
Oh, talking about
Bye.
you talking about respect? You're talking about respect? You are fired from this place, man. You're not gonna be working here. Sakwag. Look how you talking about ugliness?
Did I stutter?
You're the ugliest person I ever seen in my life.
Good. Your fucking
No, we're
face
not.
for
No,
what?
we're not. No, we're not.
Because you know damn well you're a
That's
fucking
respect.
evil
That's
fuck.
respect. Keep squeezing that caramel, bitch. Get the fuck out of
For
here.
you. That was meant for you.
So this woman, and I know what her name is, but I'll put a link back into.
Is Anton Daniels going to defend this woman? Put a 1 in the chat if you think Anton Daniels is going to defend this white woman. Put a 2 in the chat if you think Anton Daniels is going to stand on business as a black man. Give me your thoughts in the comments. Will Anton defend the white woman, or will he stand on business as a black man? Let's see.
That was meant for you.
So this woman, and I don't know what her name is, but I'll put a link back into her whatever. So you guys could be able to follow her, and then I'll also link back to the original video. As of the recording of this video, they say that this woman has basically ran up at least $100,000 in support for or from people that actually align with what she got going up. What you see right here is her actually promoting and doing whatever it is that she do previously to her getting fired from Cinnabon, right? And so the only reason that I'm aware of this is because I was on the Millionaire Morning Show this morning live streaming, and somebody said, Anton, what do you think about the woman from Cinnabon that got fired for saying racist remarks, right? Now, apparently also this is over in Minneapolis, right? And I think that she was talking to a Somalian group of people or something like that. That's what they're saying. That's what they're alleging. And they're saying that this woman is super racist or whatever. And Anton, I want you to tell me what your thoughts are about this woman saying that they're the N-word and all of this other stuff. All right. Let me reestablish exactly where my position is on racism and being called out of your name. I don't stand with racism. I think that it's an easy trope for people to lean on whenever they want to swing the conversation a certain way.
Let's see if Anton Daniels would hold white people accountable. Because if a black person said this to white people, oh, black culture is trash. Black people need to get their act together. Black people need to stop playing the victimhood Olympics. Now, let's see if he's going to hold his white woman accountable and the white community. Let's see if he holds the white community accountable for raising all this money for this woman. Because if black people would have raised money for a black person who did something to a white person, oh, he would be talking greasy about black. You're ghetto, you lack class, and you hate white people. And da-da-da-da. The culture is trash. Black culture is this. Oh my God, he would have went in on black folks if this was the opposite of, if this was the complete opposite. Let's see if he holds white people accountable. Let's see if he holds this Karen accountable.
I don't stand with racism. That is an easy trope for people to lean on whenever they want to swing the conversation a certain way. And because we know that Somalis over in Minneapolis.
Let me say this. Hey, Craig Harper, I feel you, Craig, but what I'm trying to tell you is this. It don't matter if this was a foundational black American or an African. She still would have used the N-word. This is how she feels about black people in general. We separate ourselves as foundational black Americans. We might separate ourselves from Africans, but when it comes to white people, they look at us all as N-words. We're all N-words to these white folks. So I get what you're saying, but I understand how white people feel about black folks, so I'm not going to separate it right here. This is a racist white woman, and she has a lot of hatred towards black folks in general. But shout out to you, Craig Harper.
People lean on whenever they want to swing the conversation a certain way. And because we know that Somalis over in Minneapolis are under a microscope for all of the fraud, waste, and abuse, and the fact that they are exponentially on welfare and government assistance while at the same time sending money back to Somalia and terrorist groups, that is the biggest conversation in the headline. And now we want to start looking at conversations based off of people running in the Victim Olympics to determine whether or not they are racist and all of this other stuff, and they want to have that part of the conversation. Well, I don't stand with racism. I don't believe in it. But at the same time, we got to stop giving so much visibility to it because it doesn't mean anything to me.
What do you mean we need to stop giving visibility to racism? See, this is what I mean when I say Anton is a I think you guys already know. I don't even want to say it for the sake of this live being monetized, but you know what he is. How you gonna say we shouldn't make it so visible? They're the ones making it visible. You can't avoid racism at some point. If you go to a place to get a cinnamon roll and somebody calls you the N-word, you can't escape it. She made racism visible. It's not like they went out looking for it. See, it'd be one thing if they went out looking for racism. No, she made her racism visible. She didn't care. She was very comfortable using the N-word at her job. Why? Because the people she works for feel the same way. That's why she was so comfortable hurling those racial slurs, those insults towards those people. What are you talking about? Don't make it visible. White people are the ones who made their racism visible. You ain't even got to go looking for it. This fool talking about.
Well, I don't stand with racism. I don't believe in it. But at the same time, we got to stop giving so much visibility to it because it doesn't mean anything to me. If somebody tells me that they are racist towards me or they call me out of my name, I am not going to get upset about it because it doesn't affect my life whatsoever. Let's be very clear. She's working at Cinnabon. Cinnabon. Do you know what this video did for her? It changed her life probably in a positive way. Because Juan went into the original video's comments and said, yep, we fired her or we advocated for her to get fired because we know that most franchises, right? So a Cinnabon franchise is not necessarily a company store.
He's not going to hold his woman accountable, and he's not going to hold white people accountable. He's not. If a black woman disrespected white people like this, he would have said black people are ghetto, black people hate whites, black culture is trash. He would have gave us all the smoke in the world if this was a black woman who disrespected white folks. It's crazy how black people tolerate this clown. Anton is a clown. He's a clown with money. He's a straight up clown. Money doesn't change the fact that he's a certified bozo. Homie the clown. He's soft stepping over there. Instead of him talking about the bigger problem, which is racism from white folks in this country, instead of him holding a white woman accountable for being trash, he's not going to do it. Now he's going to give us this long spiel on how racism shouldn't affect us and how it shouldn't bother us and how we shouldn't make it visible when whites are the ones who are making it visible. Straight up clown, bro.
Yep. We fired her or it changed her life probably in a positive way. Because while Cinnabon went into the original video's comments and said, yep, we fired her or we advocated for her to get fired because we know that most franchises, right? So a Cinnabon franchise is not necessarily a company store. A lot of times it is owned by a person that is franchising or licensing the name as well as whatever it is that they're getting from Cinnabon, and they pay a percentage of the sales over to Cinnabon, and that's how franchising work in most situations, as well as buying majority of their materials or whatever, so on and so forth. Cinnabon jumped in the comments and said, yo, we fired this woman and, you know, we don't stand for this. And so this was a opportunity for Cinnabon to clear themselves as well as.
Right. Anton, one of those dudes that's going to tell you if you quit talking about racism, it'll go away. If you ignore it, it'll just go away. Man, please. Anton is a clown. Certified clown. And black people tolerate his nonsense. Well, he got money. There's rainbow community members who are black men. They got money. What does that mean? See, this proves that as long as you got money, black folks will overlook your character flaws. And they look past the fact that he's a certified clown. Anton is a bozo. And you got black people who still parade around this dude, and he's a straight clown. Certified clown he is. Anton Daniels belongs in the circus. He's not going to hold white people accountable. He's going to go out of his way to not hold them accountable. Well, you know, you shouldn't look at racism. It doesn't affect you. You should just ignore it. You should turn the other cheek. You should turn the cheek and just go the other way. Don't let it bother you. Straight clown.
In my opinion, fired this woman and, you know, we don't stand for this. And so this was a opportunity for Cinnabon to clear themselves as well as, in my opinion, get a little bit of free promotion. But again, she works at Cinnabon. So she's a 40-something, 50-something-year-old woman that does her little TikToks, and she works at Cinnabon. And so I'm supposed to jump into the comments of every single thing to make sure that we promote racism. Should she get fired? I don't know. Maybe. Yes. Because you can't be in a customer service position.
What do you mean? I don't know. Maybe. You got black, and shout out to CJ Rich. Shout out to CJ Rich for the super chat. Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate you. What do you mean, maybe? No questions asked, this woman should be fired. And what's the bigger picture? She's not the only white person who feels like this. By large, I'll say the majority of white people feel like this. Anything over 50% is the majority. The bigger problem is we got a lot of racist white folks in this country, and we're not going to ignore that fact. Maybe you want to ignore it, but we're not going to ignore it. Ignoring racism doesn't make it go. Ignoring racism doesn't make it go away, Anton. Turning the other cheek doesn't make it go away, fool.
To make sure that we promote pro woman that does her little TikToks, and she works at Cinnabon, and so I'm supposed to jump into the comments of every single thing to make sure that we promote racism. Should she get fired? I don't know. Maybe. Yes. Because you can't be in a customer service position calling people out of their names. And I don't mean that the customer is always right, because we don't know what happened on the back end and the customer before they started pulling out their phones. The only thing we know is what the results is, but life is simple.
If it was a black person, if it was a black woman that said that to white people, you wouldn't be saying we need to look at the whole thing. You would have, the first thing he would have said is these black women are ghetto, black culture is trash. There's no way he would have gave the no way he would have gave the black woman the benefit of the doubt. He would have said they give horrible customer service, they're ghetto, and you hate white people, and black culture is trash. That's exactly what he would have said. But now, since it's a white woman, well, we don't know what happened at first. Should she get fired? I don't know if she should get fired. I don't know.
Percent what happens to you, 90% how you react to it, and you cannot get out of character. You cannot do what you're not supposed to do. And if somebody records you, then you got to take accountability and responsibility for that. But here's the other side of it. What they did was they made her.
You know, if this was a black woman who called white people the C word and disrespected white people with racial slurs, she's ghetto. She needs to be fired. Black women give terrible customer service. Black culture is trash. Blacks are ghetto. You hate white people. That's exactly what this clown would have said. He would have went in on black folks. But he ain't got nothing to say when white folks disrespect us. He ain't got nothing to say. Shame on you black people who hang around this dude, man. All you black people who sit around this clown, y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself. You guys are pathetic. You want a friend that bad that you sit around and tolerate this clown? He don't stand for nothing. Anton belongs in a circus. He don't stand for nothing. My God, this dude is a certified sucker.
A hero for a body records you, and you got ability and responsibility for that. But here's the other side of it. What they did was they made her a hero for other people that support this negative disposition. And then they're saying that she's basically raised over $100,000 in support of her. And I'm pretty sure that there's no year, multiple years that she's going to be making at Cinnabon. You see what I'm saying? So when you start to have these conversations, you have to really start having a conversation of how is this affecting you in a positive or a negative way? And is this actually promoting the very thing that you disagree with? Or is this a situation where you are basically helping and giving more visibility and continuing to keep the conversation alive for something that does not matter? Here's a New York Post, and it says that the serial criminal Cinnabon employee at the center of a viral racist video in Wisconsin denied Monday that she is prejudiced, citing her colored son. Her name is Crystal Wilsey. She's 43, working at Cinnabon. Let me say that again for the people in the back. She's been charged with more than a dozen various offenses over 2 decades. Later appeared to have badly misused the outdated term for black people, saying her boy.
See, I had to change the title. I had to change the title to Anton Daniels defends Karen calling Somalians the N-word, because if he's not going to condemn her, he's condoning it. If he's not going to condemn her, then he's condoning it. He had nothing negative to say about this woman. Nothing negative to say about racist whites in general. If this was a black woman who disrespected white folks like that, all the black community would be on trial. Oh, the culture is terrible. The culture is trash. Black women give horrible customer service. They're disrespectful. You black people hate white folks. All you blacks this, all you blacks that. He would have went on and on about how terrible black folks are if this was a black woman who did this to white folks. Certified. Man, this dude is, He's a certified clown, straight up clown.
Just had darker skin because of a health condition. She has a lengthy rap sheet, which includes charges of child endangerment, disorderly conduct, and drug possession, as well as traffic offenses, court records seen by the Post show. She lost her job after the footage of her foul-mouthed, hate-filled outburst towards a Somali couple at a store branch in Ashwaubenon last week was posted on TikTok. So social media basically got people trying to find out where she is. They doxed her, and then they went over that. She repeatedly called the Somali pair filming her the N-word while proudly declaring.
Make sure that you guys support the show in a major way. And man, like I said, bro, I'm not surprised, man. I knew he would listen. We already knew he wasn't going to hold white people accountable. We already knew that before I played the video, because we know how much of a sucker this dude is. He's not going to hold white people accountable for the racism that they practice in this country. Not once is he going to mention white people as a whole. Not once will he hold. He's not going to hold them accountable. Let me just make a long story short. He has no smoke for the woman. He has no smoke for the racist white community in general. He has nothing to say. Man, black folks, you need to just turn the other cheek. If you ignore racism, pretty soon it'll just go away. Yeah, right.
Herself to be. So social media basically got people trying to find out where she is. They doxed her, and then they went over that. She repeatedly called the Somali pair filming her the N-word while proudly declaring herself to be a racist. Goes on to say, and here's the caveat to that, the mom has since taken to social media to defend her actions, while a fundraiser set up by her supporters has raised over $110,000. P.S. to the racism, if you look at my Facebook from 2010, you'll see on there I have a blended family and my son was colored. She said in a voiceover.
Now check it out. Her getting fired from that job actually worked out for her. She wasn't going to make no $100,000 working for that job, working for Cinnabon or whatever it's called. She raised $100,000 in 1 week. She's not going to make $100,000 working that. Listen, she wouldn't make $100,000 working there for the whole year, but she made $100,000 in 1 week calling a black person the N-word. What does that tell you about white folks in this country? Oh my God. She wouldn't listen. She wouldn't clear $100,000 working there for 2 years. Call a black person the N-word, you get $100,000 in 1 week.
TikTok video she published early Monday. That later appeared to go back on her claim about having a colored child by saying a health condition actually made his skin darker. Addison's disease, he was discriminated, called chocolate because he had brown skin, explanation of racism. Court records show she was charged with child endangerment, marijuana possession, and marijuana drug paraphernalia in February 2022, related to an incident where she was pulled over by a state trooper, and her address at the time was listed as Green Bay, Wisconsin. She pleaded no contest before being sentenced to 2 years probation and minor fines. She has also left a trail of legal destruction across the Midwest with a history of more than a dozen charges dating back 25 years, almost 25 years. So what do you want me to say? Like I said, she works at Cinnabon, and it sounds like she hasn't really benefited off of the perceived privilege that a lot of people like to say that these people have. But, I mean, she's being held accountable for her actions. So what else do you want me to say? She got fired from her job at Cinnabon. But then y'all also made her a hero to people that champion that type of behavior. And again, I don't think that the two is tied together. Just because somebody is committing.
How do you feel about white people raising $100,000? You notice he ain't got no smoke for the white community for raising $100,000 for her. He ain't got no smoke for the white community. But he had smoke for black people when we raised money to protect Carmelo Anthony. He had all the smoke in the world for black folks when we raised money for Carmelo Anthony's defense in the Austin Metcalf case. He had all the smoke in the world for us when we raised money for his legal defense. He has no smoke for the white community raising $100,000 for this racist Karen. No smoke whatsoever. The dude is a straight clown.
But then y'all also made her a hero to that champion that type of behavior. And again, I don't think that the two is tied together. Just because somebody is committing. committing fraud in Minneapolis, and they refuse to take responsibility for how they're destroying the United States of America, does not mean that you can call them a racial slur. All right? Let me know what you guys think inside of the comments. Make sure you tap into the Patreon link is in the description. As usual, again.
See, he said that at the end to clean it up, but he had no smoke for the white community for raising all that money for her. If a black woman called a white person a racial slur at this job, and the black community raised $100,000 for her getting fired, he would have had all the smoke in the world for the black community, and you know it. All he would have been talking greasy about black folks. Oh my God, he would have had so much to say. You black folks are trash. You raised all this money for this ghetto black woman. She disrespected white people, and y'all raised $100,000 for this woman. See, this is why the black culture is trash. This is why black folks are violent. This is why black folks is ghetto. You raised $100,000 for this black woman, and she was racist towards white people. That's exactly what he would have said. He had no smoke for the white community raising his money for that white woman. He had no smoke for them white folks. None.
I would like to link back to the people just to make sure I give credit where credit is, whether I agree or not. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm pretty sure
he a clown, man. Like he's a certified clown. You know, there's no way he would have went that soft on a black woman saying something crazy like that about white folks. There's no way he would have went that soft. He would have had a whole lot to say. Oh my God, he would have had a whole lot to say. Oh man, what do we expect from dude? He's a clown, so you really can't expect too much. Can't expect too much from a clown like this, man. It's crazy. Hit the like button, y'all. Oh man. Show some love, man. Let me see. Anybody want to pull up to speak? Anybody want to pull up to speak on this? Because I really don't have too much to say. So let me see real quick. Anybody want to pull up and hit the link? Hit the link. The link is in the chat. Give me your thoughts on Sambo Daniels. You know, this is crazy. But then again, we're not surprised. Another day at the office. Pandering for a bag. Exactly. Where you guys at in the chat, man? If anybody wants to pull up, you can pull up now, man. Because if not, I'm going to end it. You know, I didn't think I didn't say it. Everything I needed to say, I didn't pretty much said it. But if you guys want to add something, then you're welcome to pull up. But you got to keep the language clean. If you pull up, you got to keep the language clean. And it is what it is. You can lay it out on the table, man. But yeah. Yeah, man. Let's see what happened in this case right here. Shiloh Taylor. The hell is this?
Hello.
Hello.
How are
Who's
you?
this? I'm doing good. How about you?
Pretty good. I just wanted to say that I think a lot of Black people For example, with Brandon Tatum, because I used to watch him, but I think when they are the target of racism themselves, then they like to resort to making themselves look like the victim. So I just think, can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, sorry. And it's just it's kind of hypocritical because they want to talk about how other black people are, and do this and do that, but then when they are the targets of racism from white people that support them, then they wanna, say that they're victims of racism, so it's just kinda just crazy, man, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a money thing. These people say these things for money. Like if you believe in holding people accountable, then hold everybody accountable equally. Like I said, if this was a black woman who used racial slurs to disrespect white people, this dude right here would have said how ghetto black people are, how black culture is bad. He would have said a whole lot of things about black people in general, even though it was just one black person who said that to a white couple. A white woman says it. He's not going to say too much. He's not going to talk about racist white culture. He had nothing to say. But these people make money pandering to the alt-right.
Yeah.
So it's just you can't expect for him to hold white people accountable to the same level that he hold blacks accountable. He's not going to do it.
Yeah, it's just sad. Hopefully, he'll get his Negro wake-up call one day.
I mean, I don't think he is, man, because he's been around for years and he's not going to change. He's making too much money off of this, so it's like, why change? It's profitable.
Yeah.
If a white person attacked Anton Daniels tomorrow, he'll find he'll find a way to ignore it and make it seem like it was just an isolated incident or an isolated situation. Now, if he gets attacked by a black person, oh my God, he's gonna make tons of videos telling everybody how terrible black folks are.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how he is, man. It never fails with him.
Yeah.
White people can do no wrong in the eyes of Anton Daniels. And then what's crazy is he said we need to stop making racism visible. The white woman made it visible. It's not like they went looking for racism.
For real.
So how can you say we're making it visible when we're just acknowledging the racism that we're dealing with?
Exactly. And me personally, I haven't experienced a lot of racism in my life. I'm real young. The only racism I experience is when a white kid called me a gorilla. But other than that, I would just say you just gotta stay safe and just know that there's always going to be racism. But you just have
Yeah.
to just stand up for what you believe in, I think.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, man, I appreciate you for pulling up to how long you been watching the channel?
About 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you, man. Keep what's your name again?
Shiloh.
Okay, Shiloh. Okay. All right, man. Well, shoot, tap in anytime, man. Glad to get you up here, man.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
I appreciate it. You as well. Have a great one. Yeah, man. Like I said, he's not gonna get his wake up call. He's getting paid to promote this buffoonery. So when you get paid to promote buffoonery, he's not gonna stop. You know, he's not gonna stop. He's not gonna get his wake up call. If a white person done something to Anton today, he'll make an excuse. He'll make it seem like it was just an isolated incident and it had nothing to do with racism. He's not going to hold white people accountable to the same level that he hold black folks accountable. He's not going to do it. Not in a million years. Dude is a bozo, man. So maybe we'll bring up one more person. If anybody else got something to say, the time is now. Pull on up and give me your thoughts on it. Give me your thoughts on it. Let's get it. Oh man. Yeah. So I don't know, man. Like I said, man, this is typical though, man. You know, you can't expect too much. He said, I think because he's conservative, he can't say much. It'll look like he's defending Somalis. Yeah, man. Shout out to Craig Harper. Right. Yeah, he's not gonna hold white people accountable. He avoids that. And notice when white people do something, he holds them accountable as individuals. He don't blame white culture as a whole. But if a black person does something, the first thing he's going to do is say the culture is bad. He's not going to just talk about the one individual. And if you watch this guy long enough, you're gonna like, yeah, you're right about that, Reg. That's exactly what he does. If a black person does something ignorant, he's not going to just talk about that one black person. He's going to hold black people accountable as a whole. Oh, he's going to go in talking about how the black community is trash. The culture is this. Oh my God. When a white person does something, it's an isolated incident. It's no reflection of the white community. Never. Oh man. Yeah, people call him a tether. I don't know, man. Like I say, I could have went Tariq Nasheed on him, like, hey man, where your people from? I could have did a paperwork check on it. Hey man, where your people from, man? You know, I could have did that, but I said, no, I ain't gonna do it. Let me just see what he has to say. Let me bring up what's his Allison. Allison, that's your name? Allison. Okay, I tried to bring you up. You're welcome to hit the link. Yeah, man, when white people do something, you know, he talks about that white person as an individual. It's never a reflection of the white community. Every time a black person does something ignorant, it's a reflection of the black community as a whole. Oh man. You got some clown by the name of Pedro up in here. You can't have empathy for that. I don't know if Pedro. I don't know. He said you're the only. All right. All right, man. Oh man. A white man shoots up a church. He's not going to say we got a problem with white culture. There's a problem with white people and white culture. He's going to say, well, he was mentally challenged and the guy was just crazy. If a black person shoots up a church or something like that, then he'll say, this is the problem with black folks. This is the problem with black culture. Oh, man. That's crazy. He wants to be accepted so bad. Well, he's getting that bag. He's most definitely getting that bag for sure. So he's getting that. Right? Mr. Potato Head at it again. I knew he wasn't going to say nothing bad about that white woman or the white community in general. Just imagine if black folks would have raised 100,000 for a black woman who said racial slurs to a white person. Oh my God, the black community would be in the hot seat. The black community would be on trial right now. You black folks raised $100,000 for this black woman and she's racist towards white people. You black folks ought to be ashamed of yourself. That's exactly what he would be saying. But white people raise $100,000 for a white woman being racist. He ain't got a problem with that. He had no smoke for the white community for raising $100,000 for this Karen. Huh? He said nothing. Oh, man. Shout out to everybody, man, for pulling on up. I appreciate everybody for tapping in with us on short notice. I did this show on short notice. So I definitely appreciate you guys for pulling on up, man, for sure, no doubt. Yeah, man. Just imagine all the stuff. Just imagine all the negative stuff he would have had to say if this was a black woman who did. Anyway, I ain't even got to repeat it, man. You guys get the point, man. Oh man. You would never hear the end of it. You would never hear the end of it if this was a black woman who said these things to white people. If a black woman hurled racial slurs to a white person, man, you would never hear the end of that crap. He would make content all week long about how ignorant black people are for raising $100,000 for that black woman for disrespecting white folks. My God. He said Anton probably donated 50K of the money. He probably did. He probably sent some of the money. That's a good point. Oh, man. God. And what's sad is this, y'all. Black people still rock with this clown, man. They still rock with this dude, man. We got a major problem in our community because we got some weak-minded people. To support a clown like this is crazy. Because what you're saying is you got a lot of you got up and coming YouTubers, and what you're telling them is, oh, I can sell black people out and still make a lot of money. So you're breeding the next Anton Daniels. That's what you're doing. You are literally breeding the next generation of Anton Daniels, because you got young dudes right now looking at YouTube. Oh, I can tap dance like Anton Daniels. I can disrespect black folks and still get money. Well, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna follow his footsteps. They're gonna follow his footsteps. I can pander to white people. I can worship white people, disrespect black people, and black people still gonna rock with me. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do this. I can disrespect black folks and black people still gonna support me. Huh? That's crazy. He would have weaponized that against black women. Yeah, man, if that was a black woman who said that to some white folks, oh my God, he would have went in on a whole black community. We're degenerate. Our culture is trash. Black people are racist towards whites. You would have never heard the end of that crap. I promise you. Oh man, this is crazy. He said Ringo has mental health issues. Hey man, I wouldn't be surprised. You know, putting on them MAGA hats, talking stupid about black folks every chance he gets. See, you black people, you're racist towards white people. And he would have been talking crazy to the black. Oh, he would have went in on the black community if we would have raised 100,000 for a black woman who said disrespectful things to a white couple. Oh, he would have went in about us raising all that money for that black woman. He didn't go in on the white community for raising all that money for that white woman, though. He ain't had nothing to say about that. He ain't had nothing to say about that. Yeah, he's trying to breed a bunch of people like him. Join the bag chasers so you can be so that you can become a Sambo just like him. When black people support nonsense like this, it encourages the next generation of black men to become Sambos, because what they're going to say, oh, I can get paid being a Sambo, so they'll follow Anton's footsteps. They'll denigrate black people they'll denigrate blacks for the approval of white people, to gain white acceptance, to gain white proximity. Exactly. That's exactly what they would do. Black people, you got to understand is when you support clowns like Anton, you're encouraging the next generation of black men. You're telling the next generation of black men that this behavior is okay. Oh, black people still gonna support me even if I throw black people under the bus? Okay, cool. I can disrespect black folks like Anton Daniels. I can kiss the behind of white people and black people still gonna rock with me. That is a horrible message to send. Terrible message to send. Yeah. Yeah, man. You know, we got to stop doing that, man. We got to stop telling our people that it's okay to disrespect us, but at the same time, blacks still gonna support you. Nah, that is a horrible message to send, man. Terrible. Let me tell you guys something. If black people said, listen, if black people took a stand and stopped rocking with Anton Daniels for all this tap dancing he doing, he would stop doing it. If Anton Daniels couldn't make money putting on these tap shoes, he would never put those tap shoes on again. He wouldn't do it. The only reason that he keeps doing it because black people still support him. They still rock with him, regardless of how much of a Sambo he is. If black folks held him accountable for being a Sambo and quit rocking with him, I guarantee you he would take those tap shoes off and never put them on again. But that requires black folks standing on business. And the unfortunate thing is most black folks ain't gonna stand on business. They're gonna rock with him regardless. No matter how much of a Sambo he is, they're still gonna rock with him. So he'll continue to tap dance. He'll continue to disparage black folks while kissing up the white folks because he has a large audience of black folks who supports him financially. So there's no reason for him to take off the tap shoes. Black people still rock with him. And that right there is a major problem. It's the same thing with Tommy Sotomayor. If black people stop supporting Tommy for all that tap dancing he doing, I guarantee you Tommy will stop doing all that tap dancing. But the problem is you got a lot of black people who support that buffoonery. That's why he continues to disparage black people, because black people still rock with him. Right? If Keisha would have lost her job over that and started a GoFundMe for the bills, then what? You crazy, man. Oh, man. Yeah, exactly. A large audience of us is crazy. The fact that you got black people who still support Tommy and Anton Daniels, that says a lot about our people. Now, I know what y'all want to say, man, those are tethers. Yeah, some of them are, but not all of them. I got to be honest. I rock FBA all day, but I got to be honest. A lot of you guys want to say those are tethers who support Anton Daniels. Nah, there's a lot of foundational black Americans who support Anton Daniels, unfortunately. There's a lot of foundational black Americans who support Tommy Sotomayor, unfortunately. So we can't say it's just tethers who support Anton Daniels. It ain't just tethers. I got to be real with my FBA people. I would be lying to you if I said that. I would be lying to you guys if I told you all those blacks who support Anton was tethers. I would be lying if I said that. A lot of those clowns are FBA, unfortunately. The Somalians only raised 4,600. Yeah, the white folks raised over 100,000. Yeah, this is my new channel, man. I'll be going live over here, man. So yeah, tap on in with me, man. You know, that's the crazy part about it, though, man. But yeah, it's the crazy part about it. Let me see what your name is. Omar. You got a Spanish name. You got to unmute yourself, man. Omar, you got it. Go ahead. Somebody trolling, man. They're just trolling. Somebody hit the link, and then every time I try to bring them up, they'll just fall off. So I believe they're just trolling. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of FBA people who support Anton Daniels and Tommy Sotomayor. You know, they're not all tethers. That's a lie. Some of them are tethers, but a lot of them are FBA as well, which is sad. But I got to be honest with you. It's a sad thing, but I got to be real with you. We got a lot of FBA people that's off code, unfortunately. Per character. Shout out to Syph, shout out to Syph Bud, man. Syph Bud, I appreciate you for the super chat, man. Yeah, man. That's the unfortunate reality. Yeah. Well, I tried to bring some people up, man. So what I'm gonna do, man, I'm gonna close this show down. I've been here for about an hour. Make sure that you guys catch the replay. It is what it is. Royal T, what it do, bro? Afro National, what it do? What's going on? I get what you're saying, Frank Green. I get what you're saying. But when they say tethers, they're talking about foreigners, non-FBA people. That's what they mean when they're talking about tethers. Non-FBA people who are disrespectful towards FBAs. That's what they mean when they say tether. Most of Tommy Soto supporters are FBA. I noticed that a lot of those people are FBA. I had people trying to tell me they're all tethers. I'm like, nah, bro, they're not all tethers. Do you know a lot of FBA people got mad at me for exposing the truth about our people? You know, a lot of these FBA people that used to be in my chat got mad at me for being honest. I'm like, nah, man, a lot of these sellouts are FBA. I'm not gonna lie to my people and tell y'all they're all tethers. I'm not gonna lie to you guys to make money. I could easily say all these people are tethers. I'm too real to lie to y'all like that, man. I'm not gonna sit up here and say they're all tethers. That would be a bold-faced lie. Unfortunately, we got a lot of FBAs who are not on code, who are way off code. I could easily blame it on tethers, but I'm not gonna do that. No, man, those are all tethers. Okay. All right. Shout out to my FBA people, man, but I got to be real with you guys, man. I got to give you honesty. See, if we keep pretending that all these people are tethers, then it's impossible to clean house because we're ignoring the sellouts in our own community, and we can't afford to do that. So saying that everybody is a tether is ignoring the problem in our own community. We got a lot of sellouts, a lot of off-code people in the FBA movement. This is why Red Supreme is going to be honest with you. I'm like, nah, bro, we got some cleaning up to do. I love FBA. I stand for FBA all day, every day. But I got to be honest with you guys, man. We got a lot of cleaning up to do, man. A whole lot of cleaning to do, man. Unfortunately, we got a lot of cleaning to do, bro. Shout out to E. Danielle. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you for rocking with the real, man, because unfortunately, some of our FBA people blame everything on tethers, and I'm just not one of them. If it's our people that's off code, I have no problem saying, hey, man, these are FBA people, man, but they way off code. It is what it is. See, you got somebody trying to be funny. Some troll by the name of Karen. If you're a black YouTuber and you're not attacking black immigrants constantly, then you're not going to get as many views. I don't talk about tethers every day. I make FBA content, but I don't spend all day talking about tethers. But that is true. If I talked about tethers all day, I would get way more views doing that. I would have way more FBA supporters if I just blamed everything on tethers all day. I've noticed that. That is an accurate and true statement. That is an accurate and true statement. If I went in on tethers all day, every day, I would have a bigger audience. I would have way more people supporting my platform. I know this to be a fact. But like I said, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm real. If it's tethers, then I'll hold them accountable. If it's our people doing it, I'm going to hold them accountable as well. Right? Karen just got sniped. Shout out to Cat 6 for sniping that Karen in the chat. Trying to spell out the N-word, trying to be slick about it though. I seen it. I peep game. Shout out to Cat 6. Black immigrants are not the only ones who are off code. Exactly. But guess what? A lot of FBA people don't rock with me no more for holding FBA accountable. Can you believe that? There's a lot of FBA men and FBA women who quit rocking with me because I was holding our people accountable. Yes, I talk about tethers. Yes, I talk about immigrants. Yes, I talk about the open border situation with all these immigrants in our community. I've been talking about that way. I've been talking about that way. Listen, a lot of these FBA dudes was Pan-African Listen, bro, I got to be real with y'all. A lot of these dudes yelling FBA was Pan-Africans 2 or 3 years ago. Let me say it again so it can marinate on your mind 10 times. A lot of these dudes who are rocking FBA, who claim FBA, they were just Pan-Africans 2 years ago. I've been talking about these open borders. I've been talking about immigrants being dumped in black communities. I've been talking about that. So a lot of these dudes talking bad about tethers every day, they were just Pan-Africans 2 years ago. I promise you. It's a whole lot of them. It's a lot of guys who are rocking FBA. They were just Pan-Africans 2 years ago in 2023. I'm giving you the facts. A lot of these dudes are only talking about FBA because it's profitable. They're only talking about FBA because it was profitable. I promise you. If you do your research and you study the history, you're gonna be like, damn, Red, a lot of these FBA dudes, some of these dudes was Pan-Africans 2 years ago. Exactly. I know what I'm talking about. Oh, man. And that's just straight up right there, man. Hey, man, that's a straight up facts. So yeah, man, it is what it is. Hit the like button. It ain't nothing. Yeah, man. So like I said, man, a lot of FBA people quit rocking with me because I tell the truth. A lot of our people are off code, especially when I held some of our women accountable. And like, listen, don't think that I'm beating up on the women, but at the same time, I had to hold the women accountable for some of this stuff too. Like, listen, when I made videos about black gangbangers in Chicago and Los Angeles and how black men need to stop being degenerate, how black men need to stop unaliving each other, nobody had a problem with that in the FBA community. They're like, yeah, man, you tell those black men the truth. You hold those black men accountable. They was rocking with it. But when I held the women accountable, oh, they didn't like that. So this is what I notice about our community. And like I say, I rock with FBA all day. Don't ever get it twisted, but I got to be honest about some of these things that needs to change. Right? I don't blame everything on tethers because it's a lot of our people doing this as well. But I do hold tethers accountable just like I hold our people accountable. But I'm not the type of brother that's going to lie to you and say everybody who supports Anton are tethers. I'm not going to tell you that bold-faced lie. I'm not going to tell you the bold-faced lie that all those black folks who support Tommy, they're tethers. I'm not going to sell you that lie. There's a lot of off-code FBA people who rock with Anton. There's a lot of off-code FBA people who rock with Tommy. Unfortunately, but it's true. You know? He said, I was there when you called. Yeah, I called out the Black Manosphere. You know why I called out the Black Manosphere? I'm going to tell you why I called out the Black Manosphere. The black manosphere only wanted to talk about women all day while ignoring racism from white folks, while pandering to an alt-right audience. So I had to call the manosphere out for that buffoonery back then too. That's why I quit rocking with the manosphere. Because the manosphere only wanted to talk about women all day. They ignored social issues concerning black folks. And I'm like, man, I can't rock with this. I agree with some of that stuff that y'all say about women, but at the same time, I'm not going to sit up there and ignore these social issues pertaining to black folks in this country. I'm just not going to do it. So what I notice about this, man, and I just got to say it, man, I got to be real. What I notice about our FBA community and the FBA community, you can't really hold black women accountable. If you in a black manosphere, you can't hold white supremacy accountable. You know, like look at this in a with the black manosphere. Anton is the same guy who defended Miss Pearly Things. He defended Miss Pearly Things. Angry Man defended Miss Pearly Things. Tommy Sotomayor defended Miss Pearly Things. So these manosphere red pill guys, they never hold white people accountable. They never hold white supremacists accountable for anything. Now, in the conscious movement, when you're talking about Pan-Africans and these other conscious movements, they're not going to hold a woman accountable for anything. So it's just like, I see it's kind of messed up on both sides to a certain extent. But I rock with FBA all day because we do got brothers in the FBA community who are fair and balanced, who will hold women accountable, white supremacists accountable, FBA people that's off code, and tethers. So I'm still rocking with FBA over the manosphere any day. But one of the things that needs to change in the FBA community, we can't be afraid to hold our women accountable. That makes us look soft. I'm not saying we got to make videos calling our women out publicly every day. That's not what I'm saying. But at some point, we got to be honest with our women and hold them accountable as well. Just like we got to be honest with the men in our community and hold them accountable. So I'm just being real about everything across the board, man. That's the only way I know how to do it. You know? Make sure that you guys bless the Cash App. Let's get some contributors and supporters on that Cash App for this wonderful show, today. But yeah, man, listen, you ain't got to take my word for it. A lot of our conscious brothers, and I respect them for listen, man, I respect these conscious brothers for standing up for black people. I respect them. I got a lot of love for them. I'm not going to disparage them. I'm not going to disrespect them. But one thing that I do have to say about our conscious brothers, they never hold our women accountable for anything. You know, they'll just talk about white supremacists and tethers all day, which is cool because I talk about tethers and white supremacists. But at the same time, at some point, I'm going to hold a woman accountable if she's doing something wrong, just like I'm going to hold my brothers accountable if they're doing something wrong. Now, one thing that I did say earlier today in the show is I'm not going to spend a lot of time calling my people out online, right? We got to find a better way to do it. But at the same time, we do need to hold them accountable because we got a lot of people that's off code, unfortunately. And I want you to understand this, ladies. When we hold y'all accountable for something, we're doing it out of love. We're not doing it to disparage you. We're holding you accountable so that you can do better. Just like I got to hold my brothers accountable so that they got to do better. So ladies, black women, if you're listening right now, I'm not trying. Listen, my goal. I'm not trying to disparage you when I hold you accountable for something. And if you listen to my content, I don't make videos about black women every day because I think that's counterproductive. Calling out the flaws of black women every day on every single podcast, I believe that's counterproductive, especially when you do it every day. So you got to find balance with everything, man. We got to find a fair balance with everything, because if not, bro, we're gonna be off code. Because if we can't hold our women accountable, then we can't lead them. If your woman can't take constructive criticism from you, then you can't lead her. How you gonna lead a basketball team if your players won't accept constructive criticism? You can't lead them if you can't teach them. You can't reach them if you can't teach them. If you can't reach them, then you can't teach them. You can't teach them. It's simple as that. So we got to find a better way to hold each other accountable without disparaging one another online. This is why you don't see me making videos condemning the black woman for her character flaws every day on the show. There's a time and a place for that. So you don't see me talking about the flaws of black women every single day. No, I don't do that. Like I said, that is counterproductive as well. Talking about Pookies and Ray Rays and Tyrones every day, that's counterproductive as well. So we got to find a balance when it comes to holding our people accountable. That's all I'm saying, family. That's all I'm saying. You know? Hey, man, peep game. You should play upon the Red Supreme. Make sure that you like this stream. Subscribe to the channel. Family, yeah. Oh, boy. It's your first time here. Hey, man, we'll continue to check out the content. I will drop hot content on a daily basis, consistently. He said, how can a leader lead another leader? Yeah, I feel you. Every great leader was once a follower. When you sign up to the military, you don't become a general or a sergeant automatically. You a private. Everybody got to start off as a private and work your way up. Everybody can be a general. It just don't work like that. But what I notice is a lot of black women who used to rock with the channel, they don't rock with the channel no more because they don't like me holding black women accountable. So they go to those FBA channels where they only talk about tethers and white supremacists. They flock to channels that don't hold black women accountable. And I'm being real with y'all. I've been paying attention to this too long to not know what I'm talking about. Y'all used to see all those black women over here supporting. A lot of those black women used to be over here supporting. Those same black women that used to be over here, they flock to channels where they flock to channels that don't hold women accountable. They flock to channels that only talks about tethers and white supremacists. You know, so that's just the reality of it. And I'm not saying that to disparage them. I'm just saying it because I peeped game a long time ago. That's exactly what happened. Now, Red be holding black women accountable, man. I can't listen to his channel. I'm going to go to a channel where they only talk about white supremacists and tethers. I'm going to go over there and support those channels. That's exactly where a lot of those women flock to. But it's all gravy, baby. I just peep game. If I talk bad about tethers and white supremacists all day and never held black women accountable for everything, for anything, you will see way more black women on my channel. You will see way more FBA people over here. And you know I'm telling the truth. If I talked about tethers and white supremacists every day and never held black women accountable for anything, oh my God, you will see way more FBA people in this chat right now. Unfortunately, it's true. It becomes an echo chamber, a comfort zone. Exactly, Frank Green. Exactly. So all those black women that y'all used to see over here, they flock to channels that only talk about tethers and white supremacists. They love listening to channels that never hold women accountable. They love those channels. You know? And black men know, homie, I got smoke for black men. I've gave black men plenty of smoke about the things that they're doing wrong. I got videos. You can look it up yourself. He said a lot of men over there too. Our people love entertainment. Of course they love entertainment. You know, one thing I notice about our women, they don't like being held accountable for anything. This is why they listen to channels who never hold them accountable. Like if you created an FBA channel right now and just talked about tethers and white supremacists and never held black women accountable for anything, your channel would be large in the FBA community. I mean, your channel would be huge. Oh, man. And I'm not saying that to disparage black women. I just got to be honest about what's going on in our community. I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you. That's exactly what's going on. I've been peeping the game for too long to not see. I've been peeping the game for too long to not know what I'm talking about. I'm going to be real. Think about all the women that hated KS holding them accountable. Of course, they went to a place where they can feel dominant without fighting. Oh my God. Now, let me give you an example. When I was making content, check this out, people. When I was making content and I was just talking about open borders, racist white folks, and illegal aliens, illegal immigrants in the community, it was a ton of women over here supporting. Oh, there was a ton of these women over here supporting. I think it will. Listen, homie, I'll say like for a whole year. For a whole year. No, yeah, you know what? For a whole year, I didn't say anything about black women. For the whole year of 2024, I really didn't say anything about black women. I just talked about tethers and, well, not tethers. Like, I was speaking about immigrants and open borders and white supremacists. Oh, it was so many black women supporting my channel because I wasn't holding them accountable. I was just talking about open borders and white supremacists. Oh my God, so many black women were supporting my channel because guess what? I wasn't holding them accountable at that time. So they flocked to my channel like crazy because I wasn't holding them accountable for anything. The moment that I said, okay, black women, I love y'all, but I got to hold y'all accountable for this, them women started disappearing. You didn't see them no more. They said, oh no, I got to get up out of here. Red over there holding us accountable. Pum, I'm gone. They started running out of here. They started running out of here in droves. And I wasn't saying nothing disrespectful about them. They started running away in droves. Like, oh my God, I can't believe he's holding us accountable. I'm gone. I'm gone. Underlay, pew, pew. Man, them women got up out of here so fast. Them streams just have 1K people in them. Shout out to Cash, his cable guy. You remember that? I was talking about the creation of hip hop, how hip hop was created and started by foundational Black Americans, and I was talking about open borders. That's when you had a lot of black women over here supporting the platform. You know? The moment I started holding the black woman accountable for a few things they was doing wrong, man, they got up out of here so fast, it's crazy. Pew, underlay. And man, they got up out of here. Oh, man. Yeah, man. The reality of it is a lot of black women, and shout out to the sisters out there. I'm not saying this to disparage the beautiful black sisters because I got love for them. And if you notice, I don't make content criticizing black women every day. I don't do that. But the problem is when I decided to hold them accountable for a few things, they got up out of here. You don't see them no more. You know? See, one thing about black men, they're not going to bug out if I hold them accountable. If I tell black men, you need to stop being dusty, you need to stop doing this, you need to stay up out of jail, you need to quit gang banging, black men don't get mad. They still going to show up and rock with you. They might not like some of the things you're saying, but black men, for the most part, they still going to rock with you when you hold them accountable. Black women, though, if you hold them accountable too much, they're going to leave. They're not going to show up no more. So that's the difference between holding black men accountable versus holding the black woman accountable. That's just the difference. But shout out to FBA, man. I got love for our people, man. I'm going to stand on our business. I'm going to stand on FBA business, but I'm going to say this. I don't think we should listen, I said this earlier on the show. I don't think we should disparage our people publicly like that. Now, sometimes we got to do a PSA and hold our people accountable because sometimes the nonsense get out of hand. But I don't think we should disparage our people on a daily basis, especially on these social media platforms. There's a better way of going about it, but at the same time, we can't afford to just ignore everything and never hold anybody accountable. That ain't gonna work either. Too much criticism, criticizing and condemning our people every day, that ain't gonna work. And then when you ignore the situation and never hold them accountable at all, that's not going to work either. You got to find a balance. You got to find a balance to everything. There's a way you got to do things. Ignoring the flaws ain't going to make it go away. Ignoring the flaws ain't going to make it go away. But disparaging our people for their character flaws every day, that's a major problem as well. So it's all about that balance, baby. But anyway, man, I'm going to get up out of here. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. I'm real, man. The problem is this. If I told people what they wanted to hear, I would get way more supporters. I would have way bigger numbers. If I just told people what they wanted to hear, I could easily grow this channel bigger if I just never held anybody accountable in our community. You would have way more people over here supporting. Trust me, I've studied the game too long and I know this. I understand the mindset of our people. Trust me, I get it. But people on YouTube don't want balance, which means they're not looking for a solution. Like if I talked about tethers and white supremacists all day and never held black women accountable for anything, my channel would be way larger. We would get way bigger numbers. My channel would be huge. But see, that's not how I get down though. I don't sell out for the numbers. I don't sell out for the numbers or subscribers. I got to be real with y'all. But if I was doing this strictly for views and money, I would never hold black women accountable for anything. And I'll just talk about tethers and white supremacists all day. Oh, this channel would be huge if I did that. But anyway, man, I'm going to get up out of here. I appreciate everybody for tapping in with us. This was a wonderful show. I'm going to get up out of here. Peace to the fam. FBA, we got to stand on business, y'all.